Hey, it's Tom, the founder of Pack Hacker, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Aer Flight Pack. It is the baby brother of the Aer Travel Pack, which we can see right there. At Pack Hacker, we test and review travel gear all the time, and we're all about optimizing your travel experience. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So without further ado, let's hop into the 23-liter Aer Flight Pack, which is great for work and travel. Let's check it out. So here is how Aer advertises the Flight Pack on their website. The Flight Pack is a convertible carry-on backpack designed for work travel. Its versatile design allows you to comfortably carry it as a backpack, a shoulder bag, or a brief with handles. Multiple pockets for your work and tech essentials keep you organized and ready to work on the go. So how does it stack up to that description? Let's check it out. So Aer is not new to the carry game. Their founder, Alan, has been at it for about 4 years. And before that, he was one of the lead product designers at Incase. So everything from Aer kind of has a bit of an Incase vibe, but in my opinion, it looks a little less elementary. So Aer is a little bit more polished, a little bit more refined, and it really shows in this flight pack. The clean black look, the low profile, and the considered placement of some of the design features make this for a really great looking carry. And I traveled around with the Aer Travel Pack quite a bit for about a month and a half and got a ton of compliments on the aesthetic of it. People were like, man, that's a huge backpack, but it actually looks great. The flight pack is no different. It also has a clean, polished look, and we'll get the occasional compliment on the street as well. As far as the material goes, we've got a strong 1680D Cordura ballistic nylon in the exterior of this thing. The straps and handles are pretty low profile. Of course, the zippers are YKK, which are, some of the best zippers that you can put onto bags, and also some Duraflex plastic hardware to kind of wrap it all up. Overall, this pack has a strong and clean look. We're definitely a fan of the aesthetic. So getting into the external components of this pack, about halfway down we have a water-resistant YKK zipper that sort of splits the bag in half. And we'll get into what's in here in a second. One side has some tasteful minimalistic branding and the other side has a handle here for carrying the pack. One thing we have found with the handle on the side is it isn't quite ideal for briefcase carry, and we feel like it's a tad bit imbalanced. So if you think about the way the pack is laid out, basically you have this main clamshell zipper coming down at about the center of the bag. And this handle is offset a little bit. So if you do have a lot of weight in here, it can carry at a bit of an angle. Now we realize it's kind of tough to get the center of gravity and the weight completely centered. And they do have some like diagonal angled attachment here, which does help a bit. But for those wanting to carry this as a briefcase for long distances, you may run into some issues. It's better for just grabbing it out of the overhead compartment, grabbing it out of a car, and generally carrying it for short distances. On the top of the pack right here, we do have a very nicely padded handle that feels great to carry. It's always great when bag companies put a little bit of extra padding in these top areas because as you do load it up, as you do put things that are heavier inside of it, it's good to have that extra layer of comfort when you're carrying around a bunch of weight. So the straps in the flight pack are a lot less robust than they are on the travel pack. And a lot of that is due to the space that each of these bags holds. So you've got 33 liters in the travel pack and 23 in the flight pack. So you can clearly feel that the plastic in here is separate from the rest of the strap. So it sort of feels like it slides around, and I'm not really loving that quite as much. So if you are using a roller bag and using the flight pack as kind of a supplemental piece, you can easily slide this over the handle, kind of keep it secure as you're rolling that thing around through the airport or wherever you end up being. The straps are also hideaway on this thing, allowing you to tuck them away and wear this in a messenger bag mode. There are these D-rings that you can attach the messenger bag strap to, which are patent pending, apparently. Normally, we don't feel like this works very well with a backpack if you put it into briefcase mode, but the Aer Flight Pack does have a slick enough look to where we think you can kind of get away with it as a messenger bag. You're not having like a blaze orange hiking backpack hanging off the side of you. It's a little bit more of a slick look and polished feel with the Aer Flight Pack. So starting with this top pocket here, this is perfect for quick grabs and kind of just chucking stuff in as you're going through security. And then on the front, we do have a bunch of different organizational pockets here, good for pens, other various items that you want to kind of keep organized in there. And one of the things that I do like about Aer and what they do is they always have kind of strongly considered inner design pockets. Moving on to the main clamshell, it opens right up and it folds down almost all the way. So there is a little bit of space that's gonna be where the clamshell is. So here we've got the Aer logo, of course the Cordura registered trademark. So in this main clamshell, we've got a bunch of different cascading kind of divider pockets here. And the first one is going to be for the laptop. You kind of have a thinner pocket here. We'd recommend grabbing a separate laptop case if you do want an additional protection on that laptop. However, there is a bunch of padding on the back side that will kind of help with that. It's just inside of the pack, there's a little bit less padding. And at first, when we were looking at this thing, we thought it might be a little bit annoying to have that laptop compartment inside of the bag versus the outside. Like, I'm kind of wondering if they kind of foregoed this little strap hider here, if they could have made this its own separate laptop compartment. But actually, the more we use this bag, the more we talked about it, the more we didn't mind that the main laptop compartment was inside of the bag itself. It ended up making sense the more we used it. So usually the bags we're reviewing are a lot bigger, and having that separate area for the laptop is good. Moving on to these other pockets here, there is going to be, they kind of cascade down, right? So this one also goes to the very bottom. The second one, maybe it's good for like a tablet, a notebook. You could maybe even fit some documents in there, although the tops might get a little bit crumpled. And then you kind of have these two half divider pockets here. So maybe you want to put a laptop charger in one of these, any number of items. But the organization is totally there with the back side of the clamshell of this pack. And one additional note on the frame sheet, it's a tad bit curved. So I'm a taller person, I'm 6'2", and I definitely felt this bottom part kind of in my lower back as I was using it. Now, if you're a shorter person, if you have a different body type than me, then you're probably not gonna notice it quite as much. So back onto the last organizational piece of the interior of the pack, we do have this kind of mesh pocket going on up here. It's a smaller YKK zipper. It's nice that it's mesh so you can see what's going on inside of it. So if you do have a lot of little items kind of floating around in here, you can easily see through that mesh and kind of sort through and grab what you need. So to wrap up with some pros and cons, everything with the Aer Flight Pack is really thought out and the design is all considered, making it great for organization and carry in general. There's an excellent versatile look going on with this pack that leans more towards professional, so that's pretty hard to pull off with a backpack, and Aer has done a great job with that. Between the Cordura, the Duraflex plastic, and the YKK zippers, this is made of some pretty great materials that will last quite a while. For some of the cons, the liners in the straps and the frame sheet can be a tad bit flimsy feeling if you kind of smush them around a bit. We'd be curious to see if they ditch the hideaway straps feature and put a dedicated laptop compartment in there, but that would kind of take away from the messenger bag look that some folks may really like. And again, if you're a taller person, you're definitely gonna feel that slightly curved frame sheet in the small of your back when you're first testing this thing out. If you're still around and you're looking to find the perfect travel backpack for you, we just made a pretty great guide on it. So head over to packhacker.com and check it out. It'll kind of guide you through what's important to look for when you are trying to consider a backpack for travel. So thanks for taking a look at this review. We'll see you in the next one. Am I looking at myself? It's me. I'm looking at myself.